Hi guys, this is Trish. I'm the mun behind Bucky, Never Just a Myth on Tumblr. And I decided to do a Meet the Mun vid. I have 450 followers on Bucky's account as we speak, so I'm pretty excited about that. I'm going to wrap up a little bit because it's a little chilly here in Florida, and we Floridians are not used to such cold weather. So, with that in mind, a bunch of you gave me questions, and I'm very excited to answer them. I'm pretty excited to just do this because I didn't think I was going to get the opportunity. I never thought that Bucky was going to get as many followers as he did. So I'm super stoked about that. Also in this video, I'm going to be crossing it over with my other two roleplay accounts, whom I don't actually roleplay as actively as I do Bucky, but those other muses are Jefferson from Once Upon a Time, which is a hatter without magic, and also Killian Jones from Once Upon a Time as well, which is his URL is I Make the Demands. So, without further ado, I'm going to start with questions. I have them all written out here, so hopefully I'll be able to read my chicken scratch and not totally and horrifically mess up this video. So, the first question I'm going to start with is from Chip. She is my main verse, Natasha. Her URL is Makarov's. God, I hope I'm saying that right. What a URL. I never even understood it until she explained it to me. Shows what I know about guns. Anyways, she asks me to talk about the evolution of Stucky Feels. The stages. What can I possibly say? It's Stucky. They are just fraught with drama and angst and love and all this other great stuff and horrible stuff at the beginning that has managed to leave me very teary-eyed at points in time. The evolution of Stucky Feels. When they first reunited in the RP, I wasn't really sure how this was going to go. I was not expecting a ship. When I first came into the Marvel fandom a couple months ago, I was a hardcore Stony shipper. And then somehow Stucky just crept up on me when I started playing Bucky, and my main verse, Steve, which is Captain Out of Time, she just is amazing, and they have evolved into a really, really, really great ship. They give me so many feels from the stages. I don't even know how to explain the stages, from happy to sad to, oh my god, what's going to happen? Is this ship going to sink? I don't know what I would do if it did, to be totally honest. And now they are in a relatively decent place, and who knows what other kind of drama is going to come along that's going to take that happiness and that semi-normalcy away from them. There's always something or someone that's trying to fuck it up. Oh, and I forgive me for my language. I tend to use the F word more than I probably should. So I apologize for that ahead of time. You might want to listen to this with headphones on or in a quiet room where your parents or anybody else is not listening. So anyways, the stages, happy, sad, all over the place. I can't even explain it. They kill me. They really do. Also, I wanted to note before I went on, I was going to, make myself look a little bit more presentable for this video. I didn't. It's 10:30 at night and it's cold. So you have to deal with my ugly mug. Sorry about that. Next questions are from Claire, who is my main verse Loki, and her URL is Talented Liar Loki. She asks me, what are your favorite and least favorite things about your muse? My favorite thing about my muse is probably the fact that he's so developed. He has such a great history to him, and it really gives me a lot to work with, which is great because if I don't have a lot to work with a muse, then they tend to die out really quickly, but he has so much history to him and so many developmental plots, so that's probably my favorite thing about him. My least favorite thing about my muse, also, oh wait, my favorite thing as far as his character qualities, I really like his snark. I mean, he's just sassy, and I can't live without Bucky's sassiness in my life. My least favorite thing about my muse, he is such a jackass at times. He really is. He tends to be really closed off, and he doesn't really like to talk about the way he feels about things. It makes him feel weak. So his inability to communicate with, especially with Steve, is probably the thing that I dislike the most about him. It drives me kind of crazy. She also asks if you could change something about your muse's past, specifically, what would it be if you would change anything at all? I don't think that I would change anything about his past because it's such a rich past, and it really is ultimately what develops him into the character that he is becoming, both in the comics and in my muse development. So I don't think I would change anything because all of those things that happened in his past have made him the muse that he is and the character that he is. So I wouldn't change anything. What are Bucky's top three favorite movies? I don't really know. Bucky doesn't really watch movies a lot. He doesn't really watch TV. He's more of a book reader. He's kind of an inner geek when nobody's looking. He would rather read books and catch up on modern literature than he would watch movies. Um, so I don't really know. I don't really think he has three favorite movies or even one favorite movie, to be honest. Um, what is the second thing that Bucky thinks about when he wakes up in the morning because Steve has to be the first? What he thinks about is, thank God I survived another day. He's always looking over his shoulder, waiting for some gray-faced magic to fuck up his life, or some of these ex-operatives that he used to work with in Russia, which there seem to be a lot of them popping up. So that's going to be very interesting to see if they actually stick with my Bucky, or if they find other Buckys to play with. I don't really care either way. It'd just be interesting to see how he dealt with situations such as that. So think about that. um, Next questions come from Kate, who is a cruel salvation. She plays John Doe, which is a twin of Bucky. They have the same face claim. She asks, what first drew you to Bucky's character? Oh, what first drew me to Bucky's character is the fact that he has a metal arm. I don't know why that drew me to him, but maybe because that's the only thing about his character until later on in the story arcs that is not normal about him. He doesn't have a super soldier serum, and yet he has this metal arm that can do all these weird things. And then so that's what first drew me to him and got me interested in his character, and then as I started to read the comics, it just kind of took off from there. Um, Favorite thing about Stucky? What isn't there to love about Stucky? Even their angst and their drama is full of love for me. There's just nothing about them that I can't pick out one thing that I love about them. Um, these are questions for me, actually. My favorite comic book, Winter Soldier, duh. I mean, this is why I play Bucky. That is my favorite series of comics. It's just amazing. He is a great, great character. I suggest all of you read The Winter Soldier. Yes, all of you read it. It's amazing. First character you ever roleplayed? Oh my god, I started roleplaying a long time ago, and honestly, I don't even remember who my first muse was. I think it was like when I really actually got into role playing, like really, really got into it, I think it was an OC, was a vampire that I had created a storyline with a friend of mine, and that's all I remember about him is that he was a vampire. I don't really remember much else about him. Um, First, favorite genre in general, science fiction, fantasy, hands down. There you go. If it's science fiction and it's fantasy, it's for me. Period. These next questions come from Shona, which is my main verse, Steve. And she wants me to talk about Stucky. Really? What more can I say about Stucky that I haven't actually said? They are my OTP to end all OTPs. Their history is just so amazing to me, whether it's comic verse or movie verse, even though with comic verse we tend to see a little bit more of that history. But the movie verse left it open enough so you can kind of mold it a little bit to your liking, which we did essentially. We molded it that these were two boys that met when they were very young, 6 I think is when they met in our storyline. Um, they grew up together. Bucky protected him when his parents died. Bucky's family took him in. When Bucky's parents died, he took care of Steve and his little sister, and they have just got this really strong bond that can't be broken. Not even 70 years of memory loss could break it. So that I love them. They just, and with Shona as my Steve, she is just flippin' amazing. And I'll talk more about her later in the shoutouts. Um, what do I like most about Steve? I think I like the thing I like most about her Steve is that she plays him not afraid to be emotional, not afraid to show this temperament that is actually canon in the comics. He's not always a compassionate, oh, it'll be okay kind of guy. He's tough. He really is tough. And he's tough on his team, and she's not afraid to show that about him. Um, and he loves Bucky. I mean, like, really, truly loves Bucky. In comic canon, he's always moping about Bucky. It's really, I don't know what these authors were thinking. They had to know that people were going to ship these two characters. They had to. I mean, why else would you have him mope about Bucky all the time? Um, my favorite Stucky thread. I can't pick one. Sorry. I love them all. They each have something that just draws me in. I don't have a favorite. I refuse to choose a favorite. Um, my favorite food. I don't know. I really like pasta. Um, Pasta's good. I'm not really picky about foods, so I don't know that I definitely have a favorite food. But I guess Italian. Um, and she also asked me what's my favorite thing about Scotland. How am I supposed to answer this? I have never been to Scotland. For real. How am I supposed to answer this? I guess the answer to that question is that my favorite thing about Scotland is that you are there. Because I love you dearly. So, moving on. Monty. These next questions come from Monty, or Montana. I tend to call her Montana, because that is her actual name. Her URL is Cry Mockingbird. She plays Bobby Moore's, and she's actually recently picked up Stormbringer Thor, and her Thor is pretty amazing. He's pretty amazing. I'm actually really looking forward to RPing more with him. She asks me, cats or dogs, and why? Neither right now. I'm so irritated with all the animals in my household. I have both. I have 3 dogs and a cat, and I don't want to have anything to do with any of them right now. They're all irritating to me. If I had to choose, I would probably say dogs because they're a little bit more playful. Cats can be really persnickety, and they don't like to snuggle. I mean, at least the dog will curl up next to you. Uh, why do Bobby and Bucky make such good best friends? I think it's because Bobby knows how to take his crap. She's kind of like one of the guys. He dishes it out, she takes it, she gives it back, he takes it. They just have a really good relationship. They're rough with each other. They're honest with each other, and Bucky is just totally smitten with her in a totally platonic way. I personally call her his fag hag because she kind of is. Um, Bucky tends to bring a lot of women friends around. I still haven't figured that one out yet. My favorite color, black, I guess. I mean, you can. I wear mostly dark colors. If I were to choose a bright, happy color, I'd probably say pink. I've actually integrated pink into my wardrobe since I was a teenager. So favorite color, yeah. Favorite food, I answered this one previously, so we're going to skip that question. Sorry, love. She wants to know why she's awesome. Why is Monty awesome? Monty is awesome because she is actually one of the first people on Tumblr that I roleplayed with. I started out roleplaying Steve, and she was the Tony to my Steve, and she played a totally fantastic Tony. She really, really put a lot of effort into Tony. She puts a lot of effort into all of her muses, and she's a fantastic writer. So that's why she's awesome. And she also asked me what was my first fandom, and this is really embarrassing now. I want you all to keep in mind that I'm 27 years old. Okay, fandoms for me started when I was like 13, so do not judge me for this, but my first fandom was Hanson. I admit it. There you go. Don't judge me, like I said. I was 13. These next questions come from Maggie, which is the Princess Sheriff. She's actually playing the I'm a Swan to my Killian Jones. Oh, so many Captain Swan feels. I don't even know what to do with it. She asked me what my favorite color is. I already answered that in a previous question from Monty. My favorite band. I don't really have a favorite band right now. I like a lot of music. I like a lot of different music. So I can't really choose. I guess if I were to choose one band that I really enjoyed, probably be Maroon 5. I really have a thing for Adam Levine's voice, and they have those songs that are just like, you know, they really get you going. Sometimes sexy, sometimes angry, so I really like them. My name, she asked me what my name is. Well, my name is Trish, Patricia. It's short for Patricia. How long have you RP'd? I've RP'd for like 12 years. A long time. Far longer than I probably should. You know, considering that I'm 2.5 years from 30. You know, I have no life. I have no life. My first roleplay character, again, was an OC vampire. I think I answered that earlier. Yeah, the OC vampire. So that was my first character. This question comes from Gentle Queen of Wonderland. I don't actually know her name. She asked me how would Jefferson feel if Marana lived vicariously through his story. Whatever, he's pretty easygoing. He wouldn't care. Jefferson really has a lot of love and emotion for Marana because she's kind of like a matriarch to him, and she helped him out and didn't throw him in his ass in jail when she really should have. He was a criminal. He's not an honorable man. Um, so I'm going to go into my shoutouts. This video is already really long. I'm so sorry. My shoutouts go to Monty, my first RP partner, my Bobby, and my Thor. She's amazing. She's like the little sister that I never had, and honestly, if I could just travel up to Canada and give her a hug, I would, and I would take her back with me and just take care of her. She's such a doll. Um, Even as attitudinal as she might get sometime, but I guess you would expect that out of a little sister. My next shout out is to Claire, Talented Liar Loki, who is Bucky's Loki. And let me tell you what, you are killing me. You are killing me with all these lucky feels, and I kind of hate you for it, but I kind of love you at the same time. She plays the most amazing Loki on Tumblr, hands down, no questions, period. She is absolutely fantastic. I would never be able to play with another Loki after hers. That is how amazing she is. Next shout out is to Jess, even though she did not give me any questions for my video. Jess, we're gonna talk. Her URL is the Golden Iron Avenger. She plays the main verse, my main verse Tony, who is with Loki. She's amazing. She really has a lot of depth to Tony. Different things that you don't normally see with a Tony. So I really like that about her Tony, and you know she does really a lot of work in developing his character and his relationship with Loki and his paternal senses towards his children. So I really like that. That's not something that you see a lot. So I really enjoy RPing with her. I really enjoy RPing Bucky and Tony. They have this kind of kinship, I guess. It's really nice. Next shout out to Chip Makarovs, my main verse Natasha, the most amazing Natasha on Tumblr. No questions asked, hands down period as well. Sometimes I sit back and I look at her posts. Actually, I would do this with any of you. I sit back and I look at your post and it's like, oh my god, how am I supposed to live up to that? How am I supposed to match up to the quality that you guys give me? I feel like such a failure of an RP news sometimes. It's horrible. But Chip, yes, best Natasha ever. She is also a really great friend. She's, you know, talked me through a lot of things as of late. So she's awesome. And if you're not following her, Natasha, you have got problems. You have issues. I don't even know why you're not. Everybody should go follow her. She is fantastic. Next shout out is to Kate, A Cruel Salvation, John Doe, Bucky's twin. She is so sweet. She is so cute. She's put a lot of work into her muse, and as much as Bucky really doesn't want to like John, he actually kind of does, even though they recently had a bout where, you know, it almost sunk the Stucky ship. But moving past that, Bucky's actually really trying hard to, you know, and to get to know John and to like him, and that's kind of abnormal for him. He doesn't trust people that look like him. He does have a friendship with Jefferson, but Jefferson is a completely different person, so I think that's what the difference is between Jefferson and John. But he's really trying with John, and the Mun, she's a fantastic writer as well. Again, quality, quality, quality. She's the best OC on my blog, by far, the best. So if you're not following her as well, I don't know what's wrong with you. Maggie, the Princess Sheriff, the swan to my captain. She's so sweet. She plays such a good Emma, and it's really sad that her Emma tends. She's had some issues in the past getting people to roleplay with her Emma, and I don't understand why. She's fantastic. She's so quality. Why are you people not roleplaying with her? I mean, not that it bothers me. I'll hoard her all to myself, and her and Killian can, you know, make lots of babies. Yeah. So I'm really glad I came across her. She keeps my Killian blog alive. Um, Gentle Queen of Wonderland, whose name I don't know. I'm sorry I didn't ask you. She plays Morana, the White Queen. And I love her. Jefferson absolutely adores that character. And she's such a sweet mun. And her character is just so maternal and loving. And I love her. She's amazing. Um, Consult D Texoff. I don't think I've ever roleplayed with this person. They asked for a shout out, which I will happily give to you, but I don't think we've ever roleplayed. But I'm sure that you have a fantastic muse if you are in fact a role player. I don't even know. So there you go. Once Upon a Winter Soldier. The other Bucky, Bucky's brother. She plays a great Bucky. She's the only other Bucky that I follow on my blog, and she's really good. She's quality. So, and I love my Bucky's interactions with her Bucky because her Bucky actually understands what my Bucky is going through. I'm gonna give a shout out to Rebecca Munn as well. Rebecca Barnes on Tumblr, and I miss her terribly, and Bucky misses her terribly, misses his little sister so bad. She's had a really rough time lately, and I just want to shout out to her and let her know that we love her and we hope that she'll be feeling better soon. Um, and lastly, I'm going to talk about Shona, who plays my Steve, who is the cheese to my Bucky's macaroni and the jam to his peanut butter. I don't even know. They are just so perfect together. And Shona is the perfect RP partner, the best Steve on Tumblr. And yes, I might be biased. She has become such a wonderful friend to me. I mean, I actually look forward every day to getting online to talking to her. And she's just amazing. We have gotten to be really close, and I love her dearly. One day I'm just gonna go over to Scotland. I'm gonna steal her, and she's gonna come live with me. Period. Because she is fantastic. She's so understanding, and she's so quality in her writing, and she's very, very loving, and I really do have a lot of feelings for her. She is amazing, and one day I hope she actually believes me when I tell her that she is beautiful. Um, and to all my other RP partners out there that have been having kind of a rough time, you guys are gonna be okay. I promise you, it is gonna be okay. And one day, it's all just gonna fall into place for you. And now that this video is at 24 minutes, I'm gonna sign off for right now. I didn't intend for this video to be so long. So thank you guys so much for RPing with me. It's because of you guys that Bucky has become the character that he has become, and I look forward to so many more role plays with you guys. Bye!